Welcome to the Word 2016 module on using SmartArt in your document. Now before we go into the actual meaning of using SmartArt in the document, let's have a quick background as to what it is and why we would use it. So for the purpose of this training, you can open up a document called Graphics. And then what you'd like to do is just page through the document to see more or less what this document is about. It's basically a newsletter or newspaper or company news, whatever the case is. It's something that gives you a bit of news. And I'm particularly interested in this last section here, which has been used a table to show you the different locations. Now when we use SmartArt, you would go into the Insert tab of your Word document and you would see under the Illustrations group there's various types of graphics you can input. You can input pictures either from online or from your computer, different kinds of shapes. Now with Word 2016 we've got something called icons, as well as 3D models. This is a new one as well. Charts, screenshots, and in this particular case, SmartArt. SmartArt is a graphical representation of data, but it doesn't pull information from a data source. So for example, I'm not getting the information from an Excel spreadsheet or a database. I'm purely taking some information and making it more visually appealing to have a bigger impact on the actual information. Now there's different types of SmartArt that you can use, so let's go through them. If you click on the SmartArt button, you'll see on the left-hand side there's a navigation area which shows you the different kinds of SmartArt categories you can select. The first one is a list. So this is, for example, if we are just creating a basic list of, it could be absolutely anything. It could be a shopping list. In the newsletter, it could be a list of all of our editors. That is a basic list. Then we have a process, and this will usually go in a priority stepped manner. So you would have step 1, step 2, step 3, and so on and so forth. Then you've got something called a cycle SmartArt, which is same as any other cycle, whether it be a product development cycle, whether it be an eco cycle. It doesn't just go in process style, but it can continue to go and go, making it a cycle diagram. Then we've got a very popular one in business, which is our hierarchy or organization chart. We've got various relationship and Venn diagrams, matrix style diagrams, pyramid style diagrams, and then you can also incorporate a lot of these diagrams by using your own pictures. And then there are some templates available for you to download on office.com. So these are the different types of SmartArt diagrams. What's really great about this is all the formatting and all the lines and shapes are done for you. So if we close this, just to go back to our document, over here it says locations to serve you. So you've got all the states over here, and then we could call it the neighborhoods or suburbs that fall under these states. So we can now choose what kind of SmartArt we would like to insert, because that doesn't have a huge impact on the document. So I'm just going to create some space here for us, insert SmartArt, and we can go through and choose which one do you think would be more beneficial. Now this particular SmartArt hasn't only got one label. For each label it's got a bit of information. So you've got to choose graphics that allow for that. So for example, over here, you could have the heading with your sub information. So this is a horizontal bullet list. If we go through our list, we can see the various types of lists we've got and which would suit our needs for this particular layout. Now I wouldn't necessarily choose a horizontal layout, considering that you've got all these states to cover. So maybe we find something more on the vertical side to suit the SmartArt diagram. So for example, we've got this over here, or we've got this over here. So let's choose our vertical block list. Once you put the SmartArt in, you will notice that as long as you are clicked somewhere on it, you will get two new tabs at the top of your screen under the SmartArt Tools button, Design and Format. Design obviously handles all the design elements of your SmartArt, and Format allows you to format the individual elements of your SmartArt graphic. So if I go down, I'm now going to start looking at the information and bringing it in to my SmartArt. So my first text I'm going to choose is California. And this is a little mini map of your SmartArt, so it's easier for me to work with this because the information I have is on another page. Then I've got Florida. You can also copy and paste if you need to. And I've got Kentucky. You can still go ahead and add more, but for the purpose of this, I'm just going to fill in these three. So under California, we've got Palm Springs. Under Florida, we've got Daytona Beach. And under Kentucky, we have Lexington. Now, if I go back, I can see how that has turned out. If I just want to remove a particular bullet point, you can do it the same as you would in normal Word and just click on the backspace button. Now let's assume I wanted to add 2 more states to my SmartArt. What's so nice about this is you don't have to copy and paste and drag all the information yourself. You can just add a new shape. So once I've clicked on the button where I want to add another one directly under, in my Design tab, I click on the left-hand side and I choose to add a shape. This then allows me to add an additional shape to my SmartArt graphic. So in this case, I will choose Ohio and Cleveland as my next option. So you can just simply start typing in there. And over here, we also want to add another bullet point. So you can see how easy it is to play around with your SmartArt graphic. You can even choose to move options up and down. For example, if you decided that Kentucky should be second, you can click on Kentucky and say move up, and it'll switch your diagram around for you. As part of the design, we can also change the colors depending on what you want, and you can format that even further with various SmartArt styles. And you can choose the one that suits you best. If you've decided that this is not the right graphic for you, you can also choose to reset the graphic from scratch. Once you've done, you click off the document and you now have a beautiful SmartArt graphic that was very easy to insert that you can edit at any time.